Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Raw. The final Raw of the year. Which this was a tape show, might I add, too. What is there to say about this Raw? I kind of thought about I would do a review early in the morning, or if I did in the same night, whenever this is posted, it'll be the next day or, at nighttime. But if not, I will probably leave a link in the description of the year-end review of wrestling. I did a review of pretty much everything in wrestling throughout the year through WWE, NXT, New Japan, Impact, Ring of Honor, All In, who else? MLW a little, the NWA. Yeah, I did a whole review on the whole thing, and I'll leave a link in the description. Video's about an hour or something, so I had a lot to say. Some of my top matches. There's a lot of top matches. I know I didn't have a particular list, but I was just naming matches. People that have made a big thing throughout the year. A couple losses, some good things, some bad things. Like I said, in my opinion, and you will see this in the review, but I think NXT and New Japan killed it this year. I think Impact came back from the bottom through the gutter and actually kind of got back a little into some relevancy that people actually care again. Monday Night Raw and a lot of WWE, most of the main Raws and stuff, being more horrible that I can add more bad than good. So it's not a pretty good year for them. They can make a lot of money and TV deals in Saudi Arabia, but like I said, I counted more good than bad throughout that entire year. But, you can see all this in the video when I have a description, just to get a little bit of a quick preview of what's going on in there. But, as this is the final Monday Night Raw of the year, like I said, it was a taped show. But, one thing I should add also, I actually thought this was going to happen, but it's actually next week, though. I actually got John Cena, who was supposed to be on both shows. I know he'll be on SmackDown, on Tuesday, but I actually thought he was supposed to be on Monday Night Raw, which pretty much will be next week when they're actually live in Florida, which I sure they're on Florida every time at the beginning of the year. But I'm sure Cena will either say on SmackDown or Raw he's going to be in the Rumble, and saying he's going to Mania since he's back again, and his very weird haircut or something that's going on. It's Cena, since he's not really filming another movie right now or doing that 6 move of doom, or I'm sure he was out there promoting Bumblebee, but he's back again. So Cena will be back tomorrow and next week. The free agent. But as we kicked off Monday Night Raw, it was the cage match first between Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, which is technically a heel versus heel when you look at it, because both men were pretty much heels throughout this thing. Finn Balor was in the back watching. This was not a bad cage match. It's pretty good. I know some fans, and I know, like I said, this is a tape show, so I can't believe all these crowd reactions that they do out there. I know I heard of This Is Awesome chant, but it's like I said about SmackDown and Raw last week. When you got people trying to say Rusev Day and This Is Awesome, and there's just fans sitting on their hands, and these are canned-in reactions, it's hard to believe if this crowd even cared. And this was in Detroit, so I'm not sure how real these crowd reactions were. You can go back to when, and I know people that not like SmackDown at this time, but when SmackDown used to be taped every week, that they were canned in reactions and stuff, that they were not real. Especially, I would say, throughout the year 2011, pretty much all the way to 2016, before they went back live on TV again. Because I would watch SmackDown, but then again, there was a lot going on SmackDown at a point in that time. I feel like after maybe about 2010 or 11, it just got really bad. Yeah, people showed up on both shows, and then they kept saying Super Show, where you just put the SmackDown guys on the Raw show, just to, fill in the 3 hours and stuff. But, SmackDown was always the wrestling thing, but you just knew they were canned-in reactions. They were not real, and WWE would edit that as much as possible. And this was the same case here when it comes to a tape show. But Ziggler was about to go for a super kick. Drew hit him with a Claymore kick. Drew then hit him with a second Claymore kick, pretty much winning the match. Ziggler was on the ground, he got a microphone and everything, because he says that all you got, and you got a microphone, and before he could talk, he kept punching Ziggler, and he put a chair right there, like during the cage, like his head, like he pretty much drop kicked Ziggler's head into the cage with a chair right there. As McIntyre said, "I'm the king of the jungle," and you told Ziggler he needs to walk away, but you want to keep coming for my scraps and everything. I run Monday Night Raw. and you're just dead weight, and you don't deserve my scraps. He pretty much said this is the Ziggler chapter is closed, and now he's going to focus on what matters, as in winning the Royal Rumble and going on to win the Universal Championship at WrestleMania. Then Ziggler, I guess he was sitting on the chair, and he tried to get up. McIntyre gave him another Claymore kick, and pretty much walked away. So he pretty much killed Ziggler here. Like I said, it wasn't that a bad match. I don't believe crowd reactions just because it's a tape show, but this was still a good match though between these two. I will give them that. We talked about the Royal Rumble, which let me say one thing about the Royal Rumble before I move on. I like the Royal Rumble, but every time they say nowadays they're gonna main event WrestleMania, is all of that really true? Which may have to be now this time, because it's like, yes, they get to choose the champion, but do they ever main event WrestleMania when they win the Rumble? Because usually nowadays it would just be Roman main events WrestleMania, but since he's not here right now, someone will have to main event WrestleMania when they win the Rumble, and hopefully they follow along with that. So we'll see. A limo came in. Shane McMahon and Triple H were here as Shane danced around Triple H. Triple H looked kind of annoyed by it, which was pretty funny. So that was actually kind of a good, funny thing to see right there. They played New Year's resolution graphics, and a lot of wrestlers talking in the back, from the Ascension, Finn Balor, Ember Moon, and Lucha House Party, Zack Ryder, multiple other people throughout the night, tag team champions and stuff. Seth Rollins came out to cut a promo, and he's not on big resolutions, everything, but he says every week Raw has a fresh start, he says, for him, but he wants his rematch against Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. Triple H came out then, and Triple H talked about the whole fresh start thing, and he looked at Rollins, and pretty much there will be, well, I guess this is pretty much true now, and everybody knows, but there are no more automatic rematch clauses when you lose the title, which, I still don't know how I feel about that all the way, to be honest. Like, do we really need to get rid of the rematch clauses? Maybe it's because people don't want to see the same matches all the time, but I don't know, man. I'm still iffy on that whole no more automatic rematch clauses, because Triple H and but he said it before, there will be no more automatic rematch title clauses when you lose the belt. I guess you just gotta re-earn your shot at title again. And pretty much said, and Triple H said you don't deserve a rematch anyways. And I'm one of your biggest supporters and everything. He was always one of the biggest supporters, but Seth Rollins told him to cut the crap, and he only believed in me before because I was just your puppet at the time. But Triple H wanted to say that I believed in you at one point in time, because you made me believe in him, because we had that match at WrestleMania. Yeah, you kicked my ass at WrestleMania, and that's why I think you're supposed to be the guy, huh? You're supposed to. That's why I think you're the guy right now. Alright, but then he says, where is that guy, huh? Where is that Seth Rollins? He was a shell of his former self. Rollins then got pissed, and he says, I've been carrying Raw on my back for the last year. When you kind of think about it, he's been only the real champion on Raw throughout the majority of this year. And he says that I've been here facing everyone every week, from Ambrose to Cruz, even a match with Mojo Rawley for the Intercontinental Championship, while Brock just sits in Saskatchewan doing whatever he does and stuff, okay? And, I'm glad you're not handing out, opportunities like that. I'm going to earn my shot. And pretty much said that, Triple H, you still want to be the soulless guy, you take whatever you want and everything. And he said he was going to do exactly what he wanted tonight. And then Triple H says, you want to burn it all down, huh? You want to burn everything down tonight? How about you burn it all down against Bobby Lashley tonight, okay? The Almighties, he says, Bobby Lashley. And Rollins then pretty much says, I'll take everything Lashley has to give to me. He's going to take anything Ambrose, and I will take anybody. I'll take Brock Lesnar. I'll take down anybody. I will take down you and your entire family if I'm going to get what I want. So Seth Rollins hell bent on anything what he wanted to, I guess anything pretty much, whoever got in his way. Shane McMahon came out there pretty much stopping this fight before Rollins does burn the whole place down. And it's going to be a fresh start battle royal now for the Intercontinental Championship. And it's going to start right now. Finn Balor came out. Finn Balor and Triple H. Too sweet. Bullet Club, Click. They are cool. NXT. So they've done this before at the Raw 25 show. They too sweeted each other, and the fist bump to Shane McMahon then, as Finn Balor is going to be in this match. I would say it's a really great promo between Triple H and Seth Rollins. You can see as they name drop Brock several times. Will it be a WrestleMania match between Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship? I'm not really sure right now. Will it? Maybe. Because I don't know where they're gonna go. Where they're gonna go with that if it happens. So we will see if that match even happens between Seth Rollins and Brock, because Seth's just dropping his name time by time again. Like I said, I'm still iffy on the whole but the whole automatic rematch clause thing being gone. And for a minute I said, are we setting up another Triple H and Seth Rollins match? Because for a minute I thought this was going somewhere with that, but I don't think it is. Hopefully it's not. We already seen it one time, so I don't think it's going to happen again. And I look at this fresh start battle royale. I guess we're getting there, all these guys a fresh start for who's going to get the Intercontinental title shot tonight. But I look who's in the ring. Do any of these men, most of them, deserve a title shot for the Intercontinental title? Because a lot of these guys are just undercard to jobbers and stuff. Like, come on, look who's out there. Finn Balor is probably one of the only other people that would really get a title shot. Cruz, even though they've treated him like a jobber, but at least I would get into him in a second. But when I see people out there like The Ascension and Kurt Hawkins, Mojo Rawley, the B Team, who else? Zack Ryder, the Lucha House Party, No Way, I think I said No Way Jose, Corbin, which he actually got a televised entrance. So why would I believe any of these people were going to win a title shot? Why would I believe any of them? Okay, they were going to get it. But the person that stood out throughout this match, who they actually tried to build up, it was Apollo Crews, as he pretty much was he eliminated like 8 people out of the ring, and he made it to the end with Corbin. Who's Balor? Now Balor got eliminated by Corbin, but he got to the final 4. Was it Corbin, Ryder, Crews, and Hawkins? Which for a minute I thought people actually believed in Kurt Hawkins for a second. He actually would get a win, but he didn't. It was between Crews and Corbin. Crews pretty much kicked them out of there, as Crews actually won the Battle Royale. And, it said it took him 364 days to get here. But he says, I'm going to spend my last day becoming Intercontinental Champion of the Year. But I am glad he won this match. And I'll get to the match later on, but hopefully Crews gets some type of push. This guy has been wasted on the main roster for like 2 to 3 years now, okay? He's been there since SmackDown, like 2016, and he hasn't literally done nothing in the past 2 years, and they've buried this guy big time. So hopefully this whole fresh start people talk about right now is going to be something good. And I'll get to the Intercontinental title match later on. Natalya was interviewed, as she said she wanted to face Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania, and she was going to enter the Royal Rumble match. Nia Jax said she was going to derail her plans. Her and Tamina beat up Natalya, which almost everybody beats up Natalya almost every week or every other. Dude, I swear she gets jumped all the time. Every week, every other week, just jump. She gets beat up by everybody, and Rousey will make the save or will become some tag team match with Rousey, and they'll win by the night, or something goes on, they'll team up again, because they gotta beat whoever jumps one of them. So it's a common theme when I feel like Natalya gets beat up by everybody that it's coming and just left on the ground, and either Rousey makes a save or it'll be some tag team match later on in the night. Next thing you know, Corbin was in the ring saying that I should have won the Battle Royale. He says, I did everything to make Raw great. Elias came out then, talking about it was time for Elias' New Year's Rockin' Eve, and we don't invite losers to the party. He said fans chanted, you're a loser to him. And, this is Detroit Rock City. Corbin got out the ring trying to go at Elias. Both of them brawled. They fought through the crowd. And Elias had got him, I think he pushed one of those crates into him by ringside. Corbin pretty much ran off then as Elias stood tall after that. They went to more of the New Year's resolutions things. Which I look at these people. I'm gonna get to something a little bit to at a bit of an elite thing at the end. Because I say it's been a lot of you know, I say this whenever this video goes up. Let's just say it was some interesting news in the past 24 hours of what's been going on. 6-woman tag match. I swear to God, I don't care because I've seen this a million times throughout the entire year, even before that. Which, dude, this is the same song and dance. Sasha, Bailey, insert third woman, which is Moon. Oh, I swear we've seen this before. Versus the Riot Squad again. Listen, dude, if you've seen one of these matches, you've seen them all. Okay? I don't care. This just happens almost every other week or on some pay-per-view. It happened at Evolution. It's happened on Raw several freaking times with Sasha and Bailey and whoever the third woman is with them. It's been done. We've seen it before. Bailey hit the top rope on Sarah Logan for the win. And come on, what mattered about this? Dude, like I said, if you've seen it all before, if you've seen one, you've seen all of them. And you've seen this match a million times on Raw, okay? You've seen this match a lot, to why is it even worth watching? You know what's going to happen. You know one of these teams is going to win. Dude, I don't even want to say 50-50 booking anymore because they 50-50 the booking so much. They'd probably be tied for all I know with wins and losses. It's all 50-50 booking. So, you couldn't let this go. You had to put it one more time at the end of the year. Let's do the same freaking 6-women tag again. I don't know why. I have no freaking clue. But moving on from that, Seth Rollins went against Bobby Lashley, as Rush told that he told Lashley he's handpicked by Triple H because he's a fighter, not a poser, and talked about Detroit, and he sent Lashley to dominate. The match itself, which, dude, I've seen these two face each other before, but listen, that match sucked the crown jewel. I remember that match sucked garbage. Okay. This match in DQ wasn't that bad, but I don't think they really had that really good of a match in the past before. But it wasn't really bad out here. Pretty much, Rush was getting involved, and Seth Rollins got a chair. He hit Lashley with it for the DQ, and then he started beating up both men with the chair, the crap out of them with it. And as he beat them with the chair, pretty much Rollins hit a wicked curb stomp on Rush's head. He stomped his head in big time. I thought he crushed his skull right there. That curb stomp looked brutal. Look it up. Don't believe me? Watch that curb stomp again. That shit was brutal. Okay? Brutal. So, after he beat him up, they said, I guess Triple H had won, as the announcer said. So, Seth Rollins, I guess he's getting an edge. Someone compared this, I was reading, saying that this is almost comparable to, I guess, with Becky or Charlotte, as the only way to get faces over is to beat the crap out of them with some type of weapon, either a kendo stick or a chair shot, so the people will go nuts and people will cheer for them. I don't know where Seth Rollins goes on from this, but I guess he's getting the edge and he's proving to Triple H and them something, that he wants a title shot or something, so he beat the crap out of Lashley and Rush out there. Shoot, don't get me started on Lashley throughout this entire year. You want to talk about something they messed up? Like I said, watch the year-end review. You'll see what I talk about when it comes to Bobby Lashley, because they have royally screwed this whole thing up with him. I wish he'd go back to Impact. But moving on from that, Heath Slater and Rhino versus Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers. Since last week, Rhino was Santa Claus, and I guess he's not fired from Raw anymore. He just automatically came back. Dude, I don't really care. Jinder and them got the win. Who cares? 3-on-2, Colossus on Rhino. I just don't care. Dude, what do you gain? This is a feud, so I don't even know where this goes on. I don't even know, nor do I really care. Dean Ambrose was in the back cutting a promo, talking about the fresh start for tonight by the McMahon family, and that Seth Rollins, he's been out of shape, that he will now burn everything now, and he's going to take Crew this good moment, and it's going to be rotten for him tonight. This match first off, they gave Apollo Crews a time to shine. I will give them that. Him versus Ambrose was not bad. He mostly got a lot of offense throughout this match. He had all his big moves on him and a lot of falls. Now, I know there was crowd reaction. Like I said, there was some awesome chants. But when I look at the crowd and everyone's sitting on their hands, did this crowd really care if Crews was going to win? Because I don't think he was ever going to win this you know, the Intercontinental title to begin with. I don't think he was, but I thought he had a really good match out there with Dean Ambrose. I hope he gets a push. I hope something is good for him after this, because he was hitting him with a lot of big moves. He was knocking Ambrose everywhere, like kicking him out of the ring, shooting star for the new near fall. Even tried to go for a frog splash, but Ambrose dodged it and pretty much hit him with dirty deeds for the clean win. So Ambrose did retain. Why was this not the main event of this show tonight? It's a title match, the Intercontinental title match. Why? I don't understand that. And I'll get to the main event in a second, but this should have been the main event. I wouldn't have minded if it did. I still think that crowd was silent, but this was not bad. Cruz got a time to shine. I think he gained something. I hope something's good for him after this. I've said it before. They've wasted this guy for the past 2 years. This guy should be something big. I still think they took him away from NXT too early, and they have just screwed this guy for the past 2 years. But hopefully, whatever the start, the freshening, the changes the McMahons are making, I hope Cruz goes somewhere after this, because he had a good match with Ambrose. So he got a time to shine, and I'm hoping something big happens for this guy. I really do. Get him somewhere. Get him out of that undercard. Get him at least to the mid-card at least or something. Keep him in the title picture. Keep that name floating around that Intercontinental title thing, because we need some more faces on here. We really do. Alexa Bliss was in the back talking about the women's division, as she was in charge for a short time, but now she says she's going to make history. This a premiere of her talk show, A Moment of Bliss, and that her first guest will be Ronda Rousey next week, and that she worships Piper, but she better better clothes or something. I don't care. Who cares about this? And someone brought this up to me. I think it was a spoiler anyways, and when they told me Bliss was getting a talk show, I couldn't have cared less. Who cares? But it's the first woman to get a talk. I swear to God, some woman had a talk show on here at one point in WWE. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I have to look that up. But they said it's the first time. Listen, I know Bliss is hurt and she can't really wrestle right now. And again, never was really that good to begin with. But they overexposed this girl, put the belt on her many times. That, I guess, because of the injuries right now, she can't be the general manager and not doing that. So I guess she has a talk show. But dude, who cares? I don't care. And I know some people are gonna come to me saying, "Oh, well, she's a great heel, and she can rile the crowd up." Yes, she is good on the mic, but I feel like I've heard the same thing before many times. And the ring is just bad. Okay, I'll admit she's good at the mic, but does anyone care she has a talk show? Does anyone care if it has potential? Because, like I said before, when someone brought this up to me the other day as a spoiler, I was like, I couldn't have cared less. This is just garbage. I don't care. I'm buried on that year in review. I don't really care if it's a talk show. So we'll see what happens next week. But is it going to move the needle? Is it really going to go somewhere? I just want everybody to think about that. Just think about it, and we'll see what happens next week. But I can't particularly sit there and lie to you and say that I'm a fan of it. I'm really not. So we'll see what happens. But in the main event, which I feel like I've seen this. I feel like I've seen this a couple times before already. And I've said this before, like a few minutes ago. How come this match is the main event between Ronda Rousey and Natalya versus Nia Jax and Tamina, but the Intercontinental Championship cannot main event the show? Think about that. I want everybody to think about that. But, as for this tag women match, what do I have to say? Of course, Nia Jax and Tamina, they would isolate Natalya. The heels beat her up. Rousey gets the hot tag, goes in, starts flipping everybody, taking them out. Natalya comes in for a save after, I think, she put the armbar on Tamina. Nia Jax hit a leg drop. Natalya knocks Jax down. Tamina does a super kick on Natalya. She was about to go for the Superfly Splash. Jimmy Snuka, because her dad, on Rousey, but Rousey held her foot up. Armbar, it's over. Rousey and Natalya celebrate at the end. I feel like I've seen this before. It wasn't bad, but it's like I don't really kind of care what's going on right here, okay? Like, we've seen this already, so they beat up the heels, that's it, and there you go. They get their payback, even though I swear they got their payback several times before and done this match already. So it's nothing really to talk about in the main event. And I was cooking something at the time too, so I didn't really care about this tag match anyways. But as this is the final Raw of the year, I guess some people are going to say now the real change begins next week. The holiday shows are over, the tape shows are over, so some people now say since it's the first Raw of the year next week, I guess it's back in business now. Now, do I think something's going to change, as the McMahon say? Maybe, but I don't really get my high hopes when it comes to WWE or Raw half the time. Maybe on a couple things, yes, but they end up screwing this up or just fucking up everybody. Come on, look at this year. I've told you said before, there's more bad than I can count good throughout this entire year of Monday Night Raw. Because with John Cena coming back, and now with these multiple changes, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of these NXT guys debut next week. We've been playing video packages for the past few weeks. I still don't think it's, I don't think the change is just adding more people to the roster, because I've already said it before. You've already put NXT people on here, and you've already ended up screwing them up. I look at people like the Revival and stuff now. Come on. What, they have a title match now? How did they even get a title match next week against Rude and Gable? Are they actually going to win? I don't even know. I don't even know how they have a title match. I don't understand why. Why are they getting a title shot? I don't even get it. Did they win something? Because they had it last week and they lost, so how did they get another one? I mean, it looks like it'll be live this time, but how did they get another title shot? Because, it's either they win or not. Maybe the Revival, maybe they will do something with the Revival. I don't know, because there's two people they have royally wasted. They have wasted these guys. But in a way, I don't think they screwed themselves, but one got hurt after the other. I think Vince didn't like that, and I heard they said something, the word wrestling, and they buried the Revival, and people just now been saying that they go to, I'm sure everybody's heard the news in the past 24 hours if you waited till midnight to check on the internet, being the Elite, as in All Elite Wrestling and Double or Nothing 2. So it'll be All In 2 coming in the year. I don't know if it'll be back here in Chicago, and I know there's been a couple details right now. It's supposed to be a rally in Jacksonville on the 8th of January, but when will they announce the city? Will they be back over here in my neck of the woods? Will they be back at Pro Wrestling Tees again for another press conference? Hey, I was there for the first one. I was at the first All In. I was at the press conference for All In. I had a great time. I hope they come back to Chicago. I hope they go to United Center. But I highly doubt that. They may want to go for a bigger arena than 10,000 seat. And as for the All Elite Wrestling, hey, there's a new promotion in town, folks. Now we see where this goes. The journey begins. The start begins for All Elite Wrestling. I may do a video talking a little bit more about it. It's not a lot of details, but it's newsworthy. I just want to speak on a little about that at the end. So there's a lot of questions blooming around. There's a lot of money involved they got, and now it's time to build this thing up. Who will roster will they get? We know they've been they've been poaching for some folks in WWE, so they got the money if you want to go off of that. But hey, check out All Elite Wrestling, you know what I'm talking about. Check out Double or Nothing 2. Go watch the video and you'll see what I'm talking about right now. So it's very newsworthy. It really is, and I just want to speak on a little about that. So hey, I was happy about it, and we gonna see what happens from here in the AEW when this thing shoots up from the ground. Okay, so the start begins. We'll see what happens then for the Bucks and Cody, as they are new. It's a new competition in town, folks. But like I said, Monday Night Raw. We will see what happens next week as the big change. I believe Brock will be back next week also, since it's about Royal Rumble time, so he's got to show up for this match at the Rumble. So we will see what happens when a lot of these NXT guys are on Raw or SmackDown. I'm sure they will be debuting next week. I don't know how many of them will go far though. I don't know if it's going to work out for them. I don't know. It's like I said before I started talking about the whole AEW thing. Bring these guys up and then you end up burying them half the time. And I already spoke my opinions on all of them already in previous video too here, but I'm gonna be sure they debut next week. I really am sure of that. But I am out of here. Whatever, happy New Year, holidays, whatever. When you check out my year-end review, think of it as a late Christmas present, okay? Think of that as a late Christmas present. So we will be back for SmackDown later on Tuesday or whatever the night or whenever. So we'll see what goes on tonight, okay? We will see what happens. But I am done with this review of Monday Night Raw. Comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about the show. What did you think about the final Raw of the year, taped or not, which was taped anyways. But tell me what you think about the show, and hey, it's a lot going on right now. So hey, and check out the year in review. I'm probably down in the description box. So yeah, I am out of here. I will see you guys later. Follow me on Twitter at hoodedknight890. I'm out of here. Peace out.